tips for buying a business or franchise with your IRA or 401k. Hi everyone, Adam Bergman here, tax attorney and founder of IRA Financial. If you're interested in using your IRA or 401k to buy a business or franchise, here are a couple tips to keep in mind. Number one, understand the taxable distribution rules. If you take money out of your IRA too quickly, under the age of 59 and a half, you may be subject to tax and a 10% early distribution penalty. Whereas if you wait till you're over the age of 59 and a half, just tax. If you have a 401k plan, believe it or not, you may not have access to your 401k plan funds. That means if you're under the age of 59 and a half, you likely would not have a plan triggering event, which would likely not provide you access to those funds. Hence, you may not be able to use those funds to buy a business. However, there could be an option. And this is the next tip. Ask, does your plan have a 401k plan loan feature? If you work at an employer that has a 401k plan, you may have access to a 401k plan. That plan will give you the ability potentially to borrow $50,000 or 50% of your account value, whatever's less, and use that loan for any purpose, including buying a business or franchise. It's generally a 5-year loan payable at least quarterly at an interest rate of at least prime. Best of all, you pay yourself back. Interest and principal goes back to your 401k. Thus, you get tax-free, penalty-free use of those funds, and you can use it to buy a business. Hence, if you have $100,000 in your 401k, you can borrow a maximum of $50,000. If you have $40,000 in your 401k, you can borrow a maximum of $20,000. And then you can use those funds to buy a business. Thirdly, if you're using a 401k to buy a business, be mindful of the prohibited transaction rules. Under Internal Revenue Code Section 4975, you generally cannot invest in an entity that you or another disqualified person owns 50% or more of. So there you go. You have a couple options if you want to use your IRA or 401k to buy a business. With an IRA, you don't have to worry about triggering event rules. However, you do need to worry about taxable distribution rules. If you have a Roth IRA, make sure that Roth IRA is open at least 5 years and you're over the age of 59 and a half. So you're able to pull those funds out tax-free so you can buy your business or franchise. Although you can potentially buy a business or franchise with your IRA directly, but you're going to have to limit your involvement. If you have a 401k, be mindful of the plan triggering event rules. If you're under 59 and a half, you may not have access to those funds. Thus, you're going to have to potentially look at the loan feature, which will give you the ability to borrow up to 50K or 50% of your account value, whatever's less. A third option is ROBS, Rollover Business Startup Solution, which works great if you have access to IRA or former employer 401k funds, that you can use the ROBS or Rollover Business Startup Solution to use all your funds to buy a business that you could be personally involved in. So you have a few options, know your rights, know the rules, and you can find the most tax efficient way to use your IRA or 401k to buy a business.